And it's something I truly, truly love. And I can't get this in Modern WoW. And it's definitely one of the bigger reasons that I've enjoyed playing Classic is I've been able to do these kinds of things. So, ladies and gentlemen, hear that music! Listen to it! We are here as our journey continues, and it's kind of coming to an end in terms of dungeon content I can provide for you on the Classic Beta right now, and that is because we're nearly capped in terms of what the cap is available to us. It's level 30 in the beta right now. I've taken it nice and easy, pretty slow. I've got 2.5 levels to go. There are loads of level 30s right now. But that does not mean, and that's kind of the incredible thing of how Classic is working right now, and I am preparing a video once I hit cap of all my thoughts on Classic, how surprised I am to have been enjoying it this much, and I'm like so invested, I haven't even thought about BFA, like in any way, shape, or form. So I want to do that. Now, today's going to be a little bit different than what you've seen in the first two videos where we did Ragefire Chasm, the first time I tanked in this style for like, well over a decade since Classic itself. Then we did Wailing Caverns where I just didn't know where I was going, all strange, like blind, and our character developed a little bit and dealt with the weapon situation. Now, full disclosure, I have done Shadowfang Keep already. I've done Shadowfang Keep. I've also done the Dead Mines, and I've done Black Fathom Deeps. I will link those to you there. But this run should be a little different because I'm hoping that the difference you're going to see is us being much more aggressive, much more comfortable with the dungeon itself, which is something I'm really hoping to show you guys. Like, once you're past that, like, learning phase of what needs to be done and all that, you're going to notice me moving around, keeping in combat as much as possible, marking targets that I want killed, and also just trying to keep the group motivated and working and all that kind of stuff as best I can, while being more comfortable with where the pulls could go, and show that you can get some good pace going in these dungeons. Because I don't want to give the impression that everything in Classic is super, super slow. In fact, what we can do is start putting together, as you can see here, as I'm marking targets, moving around, tabbing between them. What we can start putting together is some really nice, smooth plays. Where we're going to be, hopefully, giving a really good dungeon experience to our group, showing off why having somebody who's playing the tank game, which is something I really wanted to talk about today, because I noticed in the comments some people are like, they're like, what is happening? It's very different. We also have a damage readers. No pumps. Oh. See, I wasn't quite ready for a healer to go there. I think this is the first priest healer I've had. The tank game is very, very different. This is an entirely different game that I'm playing compared to DPS or healing. And it's one of the things that has really sucked me back in, I'll be honest with you, because I genuinely forgot, like, how much I enjoy this. How much I enjoyed this, why I enjoyed it so goddamn much in the first place, why I fell in love with tanking. I'll give you a little brief story, because this dungeon is relatively long, as all of them are. It's amazing to me. It really has been just incredible as how involved. Oh, a Hellstone. What a dude. Is it a good one? 250. It's okay. But thank you. Let's give him the /TY.
I thank you.
Thank you. We've got some mana on our dude. Good. Let's get up here. I had forgotten. Absolutely forgotten just how much I loved tanking in Classic. Tanking in World of Warcraft. Why I fell in love with it so much. Why initially it was one of the things I was known for before, like, videos or anything like that on my server. It was one of the things I was very well known for, and it got to the point, certainly in the Burning Crusade, because in Classic I didn't really get to tank. I wanted to. I was a healer, as many of you know. I was a priest healer. And all this has really brought back to me how frustrated and angry I would get regularly during that time with terrible tanks, because I was just so fed up with what they were doing all the time. Like, we're gonna do a bit of a spicy pull here. If we can get a body going, let's get a body pull. Come on. I got so fed up for so long with bad tanks, and I always wanted to tank. The problem was, and you might go, well, why don't you just re-roll tank, right? One, I was new to the game. I didn't really understand, like, that I could do that. And also, being a priest afforded me a lot of power with my for my friends. Not with my friends, for my friends. It really gave me a lot of power to get them into guilds and stuff, because they would play classes that typically were in abundance, priests were very desperately sought after by a lot of people, right? A lot of guilds. You had a lot of power if you were a priest, especially a good priest. So I was kind of known round about AQ 40 time. I kind of got a name on the server for being a good priest. I wasn't, by the way. I want to be totally clear on that. I was shit. I was so bad, and I have no shame showing those videos of me being a clicker and all that. But I was like a decent player in terms of how bad I was. Like, I was a good bad player, right? I think that's the best way of saying it. But I always wanted to tank. The problem was there was 8 billion warriors and 6 priests per server. And that meant one thing. Like, rerolling from a priest, I was giving up so much, and it pretty much would have been practically impossible for me to actually get into a guild and get stuff done that I wanted to do. So we're going to have to be a little careful here. What I'd like to do is get involved here. And mark one for the boys. I'm going to get a little bit of rage. A little bit more rage. A little bit more rage. We're good. I'm going to move around here. Sunder on that one. Revenge on that one. Body pull on this. And this one. Now, let me talk here about the different game I'm playing, because I think this is where you can really appreciate it. Because you can see, I have everything here. I have everything, so we're going to demo shot them. But what I'm doing is I'm not playing like DPS. DPS is concentrating on, like, priority targets. They're concentrating on, like, just maximizing damage, all that kind of stuff. What I'm doing is very careful, super careful monitoring of what attacks I've done to which target. Right? And I need to be very aware of that. Now, one of the great things, this was something we had a big discussion about today on the stream, is because Classic doesn't have a million random procs going on for my character, I can't tell where the damage is coming from on my character in BFA. And that's not like a BFA thing either. It's been that way since Legion. And you can check my video history, how annoyed I get at Blizzard constantly piling on just random crap that your character's doing that you have no control of. So that would be things like your spells and abilities have a chance to do X, Y, and Z, right? And the problem is we have so many of them. So there, you see the way that Sunder was dodged by the Moonwalker? I am constantly watching for the yellow things popping above the heads of enemies, because I need to know if it hits. So that revenge hit for 13. I can't do that in modern World of Warcraft. I can't say that ability hit for 15 there, right? I can't tell whether the important ability I did, which would be Sunder or Revenge, actually, so that missed. So I need to reevaluate my strategy here. I need to go back on the plan, because I see that got parried. So I need to put extra threat into this target, right? And I'm doing that constantly. I'm playing this constant game of spinning plates, is how I like to think about it. I'm constantly spinning plates. Look at our healer's mana while we're doing this, by the way. We are chain pulling this. No one's taking any excess damage. All good. I'm going to wait just 1 second, get a little touch of extra rage. There, enough. Just enough for a Sunder. That's going to allow me to grab this enemy. I've got to work on this one now. I've got to throw 1 Sunder on that. I've got to build a little bit of rage. Now I've got enough just to come over here and pull this one as well. Now I'm going to demo shout them. And again, I'm back to spinning the plates. I'm going to pass to the chest. I'm not interested. And it's a different game. I'm playing a totally different game. And this was what I fell in love with. I'm not asked about the DPS meter in any way, shape, or form. What I'm interested in is making sure these guys can just be like hammering and hammering and hammering and hammering all the time. So I'm just going to body pull into here. I'm happy with my healer mana. I'm keeping good stead. We've got another ad. Okay. So that's where my taunt's going to come in. Notice I haven't used taunt before this point. And that's something I always challenged myself to do. And I mean that seriously. I challenged myself to do that. I talked, I think, in the first video, is like I have taunt and shift 4. And that's because I work really hard to try and get to a point where I don't need taunt. I don't want to taunt. I feel like for me, in the goals I set when I'm tanking, that taunt is a failure. And I genuinely believe that. That's how I approach tanking. And it's how I did it all the way up until they destroyed tanking. And they did destroy tanking. During Wrath of the Lich King. So you might be saying these mobs are grey, like that's why you're holding aggro and stuff like that. That is definitely a factor in it for sure. But this dungeon does scale up, so there's no rare mob or anything. Okay, these could drop a bag apparently. So I was told. These could drop a bag. Body pull this as well. Bring it down. Just because he's a patrol. Revenge on this one. Tabbing to the one I haven't hit yet. Demo shout on all. No, don't worry. I got this. I got this. He's saying my bad. Don't worry. I've got full control over it. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. We've got another one up here, so we're going to move in. We're going to pop this revenge on him. Pull him back down into the pack. Right? And it's always... I always did this. I gave myself, like, stupid challenges. I did it a lot today. So today, we not only did... what did we do today? We did Blackfathom Depths, and we also did Razorfang Crowl, which I was way under level for. So most of the mobs and bosses were red. Now, if you're not sure what that actually means in terms of Classic, grats. If you're not sure what that actually means in terms of Classic, it means you physically can't hit the enemies. I wish I was joking, but that is the case. Healer Man is still really good. One Sunder for you, one for you. Moving on this guy. Proc the Revenge on the boss. Let's mark one for the guys. I'm just going to choose the one that's already at lowest health. The guys are obviously already attacking that. Revenge for you, then back to the boss. So you can see I'm kind of cycling through the enemies, paying attention to what ability I did and how did it affect them. Did it hit? Did it crit? Because if I see like a crit revenge, I can ignore that mob for so long and not worry about it. And it makes my life easier and it feels really good. I'm not going to lie. And it's something I do. When I was dealing with tanking today, I tried to play... Ooh, how slow. Too slow. Get away. Get away. Too slow. Too slow, dude. Too slow. Right, I'm going to try and pull quite a few here. So I'm going to mark this so they go for that. I'm just going to watch. Now, the guys are going to naturally ninja pull for me here. I'm going to let it happen. I'm going to let it happen. And that's because I'm going to, like, prepare for the idea of mobs running in. So, again, I'm looking at, like, the high health target. I'm going to give that a revenge. I want to give this one a Sunder. That one's attacking the Hunter Pet. But I'm going to wait because I've got this one to get. I've got this one to get. One Sunder in each. Bring them back into the pack. Give the demo shout to them all. And I love this. There's like such a satisfaction for me of having this happen. I'd like them to be tighter. So now I start working on this. I want them to be tighter for better AoE. I want them to really cluster up. If I can get it. Tauren Rage coming in hot. And it's something I truly, truly love. And I can't get this in Modern WoW. And it's definitely one of the bigger reasons that I've enjoyed playing Classic is I've been able to do these kinds of things. So we missed out on 2 mobs, so I'm going to grab these now. Healer's nearly in, but we're going to... In fact, I've got to just save this here. This boss has a tendency to ninja pull. So we'll do this and then we'll get mana. But what it does for me, and it's kind of something I've taught in all my tank videos, what it does for me is, if you can get a really nice chain of combat going all the time, it very much keeps the interest of the whole team, keeps people on their toes, and you tend to have much smoother runs if you can achieve that, instead of a very stop-start approach, which is what I found. One of the problems I ran to in Classic that made me want to be a tank was tanks not doing that. They would very much... Death Knights were the worst for this, so if we go to 2 Rattle Lich King, despite that was when they made... tanking much easier. I'll come back to that in a second for those of you who are unclear on what I mean by that. Let's pull the boss. Interrupt him. Uninterruptible, I think. Either that or it was too late. This is healing reduced by 75%. So I'm going to play a little bit more defensive. I'm going to put shield block up to block his big attack. Demo shout. But he's looking good. We're now starting to get some enemies who are... We've gone past the initial sort of easier part. Good stuff. Good stuff. As I would... as a healer particularly, a bad tank would often do sort of run in and start sort of tanking one mob and really not be able to manage the spinning plates aspect of tanking, like, at all. And it drove me nuts because I would cast one heal and I started doing things in dungeons, and I think some Classic healers are probably going to really resonate with what I'm about to say, is you would wait and wait until almost the tank was like nearly dead sometimes, and then you would cast a heal and you would get aggro on like 3 things, and you'd just be like... And we're not talking about there being massive level differences. So I'm not talking about me being like a 30 priest. Oh, we lost aggro. Come back, come back, come back. Do not like. Do not like. I'm not talking about where I'm doing like a heal that's designed for a tank 10 levels higher. So it's like a full HP bar or something like that. No, you just wait. What is that? Cast speed reduced by 50%. Yikes! Yikes! Yikes indeed. Ouch. Ugh. befuddlement. Right, we have to be a little careful in here, so I'm going to mark this one. I'm going to give it a revenge, but I want to try and make some more friends here. I'm going to pull them all out here. Demo shout them. Let's pull them all out. All out. Come on. There's an extra one here. He must have been patrolling. I'll use the Hellstone here. So now we're going to get the cycle going. One Sunder, one Revenge. A Sunder on this one would be nice. Then to this one, he's taking a bit of beat, so I'm going to give this one an extra Sunder. This one's nearly dead. I'm going to ignore it. This is what's going through my head right now, is I'm just looking at, like, who's taking the most damage. All right, that one probably needs to be more shifted up to, like, the priority list. Like, this guy's at full health. I can forget about him. And now I've put enough threat onto the others that I can start working on this one. And that's my thought process in here. Is just sort of reprioritizing, constantly shifting this list in my head. Every single trash pack. And that's why I find it so engaging. Because you... Congrats to you, my dude. Congrats to you. How many did we have left? So we got this one to clear. Let's do this guy. Right, there's going to be 3 mobs up here. So what I'm going to do is... If I get some good rage, it'd be nice. But I might not do off this mob. Right, I'm going to tell them to kill these. I'm just going to go in. One for you. And a revenge on the one they're killing. Taunt the boss. And then we'll back into this corner. So they're going to be killing the other ad now, so I can worry about the boss less. There's always going to be a risk that someone's going to be like, I'm going to kill the boss. I'm silenced. I'm going to nuke the boss. But, I mean, you could... Oh, interrupt. Got it, just. Whew. Spicy. So, a lot of silence is going out. No, healer looks to be in a good position, but I would like to get the demo shout on. Oh, there's the bubble. Of course, you fucking bubble bitch. Ah, yes, I have your shield, sir. I have only run this dungeon once, but I did get the shield, and it's so good. Look at this fucking shield, boys. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me right now with this? So good. So, and there it is. Congrats, whoever gets it, my dudes. I have it. Who could get it out of our group? No one. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. All right, healer needs mana, so we're just going to wait. We're going to use this as like a soft reset. Let the healer get his mana back. Oh, no, the Warlock's super confident. Okay. This does happen. This does happen. Like, we could just nuke through this dungeon, right? Like, there's no problem here. So, healer's mana's good. Can't wait till I get fucking intercept. Okay, 3 mobs here. 1 for you. I have to keep track of what I've hit and what I haven't. 1 for you. I need 1 on this one. I'm going to put another one into this one because he's taking some extra damage. Let's get the... Oh, I can't demo shot. Yeah, missed that one. And you really are. You might think, oh, you got comfortable aggro, right? Because you're used to seeing BFA. Absolutely fucking not. I'm honest. Like, your aggro is always at a teeter's edge of being lost. That's why it's so important to do this. And what I think I might do, and I'll have to wait for a response from you guys on this, because... the stress test is tomorrow. And I think they're not going to let us play these characters tomorrow. I think they're going to make us play new characters. If that's the case, I'm kind of tempted once again to have a healer. I might make a paladin or something. And then I can show you the difference. Like, try and get in some groups with some guys who are still learning to tank. Something along those lines. And see how they fare. Is he having a drink? Yeah, he's drinking. He's drinking. Drink. Drink. Yeah. Let's wait till he's good. I don't want to stress the healer out. Like, it's always for me, it's the same as when I do the tanking guides and stuff, is finding that balance between high pace. 1 for you. 1 for you. Let's mark this one. Disarmed me. Okay, this is tricky, so I need to be careful here. I'm just... Because, yeah. That's why. So we're going to put a mocking blow on this one. That should be enough until that dies. That is the risky scenario. The risky scenario. And it's why I like to try and play without taunt. Is just to... I always have taunt ready when I need it. Was one advantage I found of playing without taunt as normal. Because I know a lot of tanks, certainly modern tanks, they like pull with taunt and things like that. I never do. I never do. I always have it in case I screw up. And I felt that always has worked out best for me, is to have it when I fuck up. So I change it from something that's like a crutch into like a backup emergency. His mana's still good. So we're going to get in here. I'm going to pull 2 to start off with until the rest of the group gets here. I'm aware I'm ahead of the group, so I want to take my time. But I'm going to be in combat pretty much now until the end. And I tend to only try and mark one target. And after that, I try and go with the confidence for myself, because this is dungeon stuff, so I don't need to communicate. It is a pug, right? So I don't need to be over the top. I want the guys just to have fun. I like the idea that you kill one target. That's the kill target, right? But after that, kill whatever you want, man. I've got this. I'm managing it. Ooh, it's not as good as what I have. It's good, though. It is good. Right, so we've got 3 mobs. So again, mark this one. Sunder for you. You saw that old thing I talked about even as far back as Ragefire Chasm, which was just build Rage at the end of the pack for the next pack. And God, it makes it so much easier being able to pass round 3 Sunders. Doesn't even matter about the level of these enemies. Like, they wouldn't pull it off me even if we had... I mean, I was tanking with a 29 Warrior DPSing today. A 29 Shaman whose Earth Shocks, like, were just... Those Earth Shocks were just unbelievable threat. Like, they were more threat than my Sunder Armor. The Earth Shocks are so much more threat. From the healer as well. An absolute legendary healer we were playing with today. Look, these curses you'll like, guys. I've always decursed it, but it is a 5-minute curse that randomly selects one of your skills. We're not going to get the Blood Rage off. And reduces it by 100. Which means you practically can't use it. I was talking about the level difference before as well, just to give you some context as to what that's like. I'm going to build Rage on this. I've got 2 Sunders. I'm auto-attacking. We should be fine. What happens is your attacks, like my white hit there was 65, 70, right? If the target goes red, which is what we was tanking today, those white hits will turn into 1s and 2s. Literally turns into 1s and 2s, which is just... It's the end of days at that point. Right, so let's mark this one. I don't really want to pull the dog yet, because these spawn... Let's interrupt that. I don't know what it is, but we'll interrupt it. Because these lupine horrors are going to spawn a lot of ads. So, I'd rather the guys... Here we go. I need to be ready for this. What's this one? Shadow damage inflicted. So our druids, actually... Oh, we got a cat form druid. Who's doing well, actually. Look at the feral. Yes! I brought you a feral, friends. Are you happy? Oh, miss, miss. Okay, this is dangerous, right? You see I lost aggro? Let's turn this around so they're attacking from behind. Make life easier for our druid. One more revenge on this one. And now I'm going to chill. Get the battle shout back up for the druid. What's he using? He is using Shred. I'm pretty sure Shred has to be done from behind. It has the same mechanics as Backstab. 90% sure. In fact, let's change this to this one. Get them turned around, make the DPS easier. That's the main target, so let's put a Revenge and a Sunder into that one. A Sunder into this one, a Sunder into this one. We've got Demo shout up. Interrupt this. Ooh, a bit late. Bit late on the interrupt there. I always try and bank some rage if I can as well. Like, it's not often you get a chance to. It's not something I'd actively try to do, because I know many of you have started tanking in Classic because of the videos, which is awesome, by the way. I really hope you find the joy that I find in it. Certainly as you get more skills. Let's take a look at where we are talent-wise now. This is the way I've gone with it. Some of you will disagree, but it's what I wanted, is generally, this is how I've gone with it. This was the biggest thing ever, is having tactical mastery and anger management. So I wasn't aware that this is how this works. But anger management, it increases the time required for your rage to decay while out of combat by 30%. Right? So you're thinking to yourself, well, that doesn't sound very good, Mike. Like, that sounds like just a big waste of time. Apparently the way they mechanically built this in was that you just get a steady 1 rage. Like, when you're in combat and just shortly after combat. Like, that's how they did it. Oof, oof. Got the taunt. Good. Let's get the demo shout up. We're going to play a little defensive here. Might have to pop a potion. Let's pop one anyway. There's the heal I was hoping for. Yeah, we got very split damage here. Let's focus this up and I'll come back to what I was saying. Trying to get rid of these illusions. I don't want them DPSing targets that aren't necessary. Let's get the demo shout back up. Yeah, so my initial talent choices went like this. So I got improved rend purely because before I could tank anything, I was in the open world. Rend is a big part of your DPS as an arms warrior. Certainly early days, you're going to be picking up rend. So I went with rend, but then I went into parry, obviously for tanking rather than heroic striking. So I wasn't really heroic striking that much. And knowing a tank, an extra 2% parry, I'll take it. A little bit of avoidance, all good. I then did like 1 and 1 here. And that was because I wanted... The biggest thing I wanted was the ability to change stances, because I'm stancing a hell of a lot. As much as humanly possible, I'm going to be stancing. So 1, be able to maintain my rage when I stance. Because at base level, if you change stances, it loses all your rage. It all disappears, which is garbage. So I wanted that. And then, once I had enough points to successfully like swap stances with the amount of rage that charge would give me, I started putting points into increased charge to get more rage out of that charge, then putting another point into tactical mastery so I got to keep that rage, and then doing a bit of backwards and forwards. Then I picked up deep wounds because it's just a lot of passive threat on the odd crit. Let me check the healer's mana. He's good. Let's go. Again, turn the target around. But I wanted to come back to anger management because this one, the way this works is apparently it's always on, so it's just constantly providing me with a little trickle of extra rage all the time. More rage, more better. Simple as that. More rage, more better. Well, I don't need it. It's good, though. We're going to get some voidies here. It's blood rage. Ready? As much rage as possible. Go try and toss a sunder on each one. 1 for you. 1 for you. 1 for you. And 1 for you. Nice. Again, prepared for it. Dealt with it. Really good. So those were the biggest points for me. It was tactical mastery, improved charge, and anger management. At an endgame build, I would change that a little bit. I probably wouldn't bother with the improved charge at all. Maybe. I mean, what am I missing out on? I would probably like the cheaper heroic strike at higher levels because we're heroic striking pretty much constantly. You're like spamming the button pretty hardcore once you're fighting like raid boss style stuff. And not really charging all that much because once you charge the boss, that's it. You're in combat for the next like 5-10 minutes or something. So it's not that big of a deal. Nice for dungeons though. Like for dungeons, it's a huge amount of rage. And then moved up to Impale, which is more bonus on crit. Now I'm a little stuck on where I want to go. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm a little stuck on which talents I want to go with. For outdoor leveling, it's two-handed weapon specialization, 5% more damage for two-handed weapons. Of course, I'll be using two-handed weapons all the time. Then we get sweeping strikes, which is a requirement to get mortal strike. So we have to pick that up anyway. But the other points, you have to kind of commit to a weapon with arms. So you got sword specialization, mace specialization, and axe specialization. As many of you probably are aware, even if you never did it, respecking in Classic is so expensive. It's so expensive. They really want you to be the class and the character you've designed and stick with it. That was the original like RPG intention of it, which is definitely has some merit to it. It's got to be said. Alright, let's deal with these doggos. Ooh, we've got no rage here. 1 for you. Yeah, these tossed out immolates are a little tricky. Revenge on that one. This one's good. Let's go with this one. He's getting some beats. Let's put something else into this one because he's going to die. Alright, we're good. So I'm probably going to come back up to getting improved parry, actually. I'm going to throw some more points over there. Probably pick up improved overpower as well for the little bit of solo play I will do out in the open world, just having improved overpower, rather than specializing into a weapon while I'm leveling, because let's face facts, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be changing weapon all the time, depending on what drops, right? I could end up with a pole arm from Blackhand or something along those lines. So it's way too early for that. And then pick up Mortal Strike. And then move over into other ones. But for those of you who've been asking me, like, when this is live, yeah, I mean, of course I intend to play it based on the fun I've been having here. 100%. Or even in the beta, if we do some beta testing of raids. A lot of capes today. I'm actually going to try out Deep Prot. And before everyone rolls their eyes, the reason for that is pretty simple, actually. I was always told that Deep Prot was kind of a cunt's trick. Like, it was totally unnecessary. But I'm not sure if that was something that warriors told each other so they wouldn't have to spec Deep Prot and have to respec all the time. As somebody who doesn't mind being a full-time tank, and probably will have, you know, buddies to play with or whatever, I kind of want to try it out, and that'll involve picking up some cool stuff like Shield Slam, which apparently is just less threat than Sunder Armor. So it's like not worth pressing. But it does have a dispel magic component to it, which is nice. Force the Revenge block. Nice. It does have that aspect to it. Picking up things like massive amounts of threat, like 15% more threat. Which is definitely a temptation. Last Stand, of course. Cheaper Sunder Armor, just more threat mixed with cheaper Heroic Strike, which will pick up out the arms tree. Those kind of things. So I'm going to mess around with that and just see what it's like. Like, do I believe the hype? We all need to go up to the platform and nuke hard. Let's go. This guy actually mullered me. So I'm going to demo shout him early. Yeah, we're stunned. Come up here. I've got to pull him against this back wall, ideally. No point in shield blocking this guy. This is spellcast that's the problem. Oh no, I got mind controlled. Oh no! Oh, I got mind controlled. 3, 2, 1. I'm back. Oh, he changed me to arm stance. What a jerk. I'm stunned again. Dots! There's no dots. More dots! There we go. The Robes of Aragar. Lovely. Agility, stamina, intellect, spirit. Cloth. Wonderful. But I hope that shows. Like, that was half the time it took us for Wailing Caverns. I think the first run here took us a good chunk longer than that in terms of preparation and looking at what to do. It allowed me to have a bit more discussion, a bit more fun, but to show you what is possible, like, you can speed it up once you get more comfortable. Having more rage income is definitely a really big deal. The next run I want to do is going to be something a bit harder. We're going to be looking at the Scarlet Monastery, which is going to be tough regardless because we're level caps at 30. So that's going to be where I want to be for the next TDP. It's probably Scarlet Monastery. I will link down below the Dead Mines and Blackfather Depths. Blackfather Depths I pay particular attention to because that's me tanking against red enemies. I can't hit them. RFK I might link as well. Rise of Enkraul was really low. I was way underleveled for it and I basically didn't. The thing that you'll find funny is I basically didn't tank anything because I couldn't hit the enemies. I physically couldn't hit them. So enjoy that, my friends. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.